birthright citizenship is going away, and people want black Americans to put the capes on and care about them, and we don't give a shit. Because every time we need another group, including people from the African diaspora, what do? You find ways to shit on our freaking legends like the Buffalo Soldiers, Harriet Tubman, so many others. You find a way to come over and undermine us. You find a way to go ahead and get under white supremacists and find a way to just constantly find a way to shit on us. To show us there is no unity. We've tried the whole black and brown unity. We tried to save the freaking African diaspora. At this point, we are fucking resting. We don't give a shit. Now, if I don't speak, if I don't speak for you, that's fine. But I can guarantee you, a good chunk of black America is sick of everybody's shit. So it don't matter if you come from the freaking diaspora or any other group. We don't care.
Donald Trump just won one of the biggest wins that he's ever won. You ever notice that when Donald Trump tries to implement any of the policies that he ran on, some random judge from somewhere will just pop up out of nowhere and start interjecting with their ideas? Well, those days are over. The Supreme Court just ruled in favor for Donald Trump against all of these judges. So now Donald Trump can finally get more important policies passed in this country without any issue or blowback. One of them being birthright citizenship. A lot of people are very ignorant in this country. They don't even know why birthright citizenship was created. It was created to ensure equal rights to formerly enslaved people after the Civil War. Not for people to come to this country and use it as a finesse tool to become an American citizen. That is not why it was created. And it should have been gone a long time ago, if I'm being honest. Things are finally going to start getting done around this bitch. Even though Donald Trump has been doing a damn good job, considering that every time he tries to get any of his policies done, somebody over here pops up with how they feeling. Oh no, I have an idea, and that judge over there wants this, and that judge over there. All of that's over. God bless America, man.
By now, y'all know the Supreme Court sided with Trump on ending birthright citizenship. But let me break it down because most people are getting it completely wrong. The court didn't say the policy is good or bad. They said lower courts cannot block it nationwide. That means Trump order now stands in any state that doesn't challenge it. So yes, some states will have to comply and others may not. For now, here's the key. If you're born in the U.S., but your parents aren't legal residents or citizens, you may no longer get automatic citizenship. This is not family separation. Calm down the theatrics. You're free to stay together, just not here. You can take your child or family and go back to your country. That's a choice, not oppression. And let's be real, birthright citizenship was created for black descendants of slaves, not to be used and abused by the entire world. Trump is fixing a loophole that has been exploited for decades. If you got a problem with it, don't cry online. We don't care about your tears. Take it up with your state lawmaker, because right now it's up to the state until it becomes federal across the board. So stop it. Stop it with the dramatics. As my granny used to say, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get up out of here.
You know what's crazy to see in real time is, it just came to me this morning. When black people, we was on Twitter talking about we getting our powers back December 21st, and this was like COVID times. It came a year later, 2021, 2022, all of that. We was speaking that into existence, even if it was jokingly. When you manifest, you can't be attached to it anyway. So even speaking it jokingly, manifested that. And the crazy part about it is, flash forward to 2025 and the things that are going on and the things that are happening. I'm not even going to say what it is. If you know, you know. This is crazy. It's spot on. It is spot on. We are getting our powers back. We are coming back for everything that is ours. And that's on the ancestors and them. You feel me? So at the end of the day, keep up the good fight for anybody who's fighting a good fight. Keep up the research for anybody who's researching. Know who you are. Because at the end of the day, they know who you are.
Mark my words. So it's going to start out with any new babies born in the U.S. Whose parents were Emma or Ellie, right? They gotta go. They're gonna go. But I guarantee you, mark my words, it's going to extend to people that even have been here, even if you've been here 20 years, right? So it's meaning it's going to be retroactive, guaranteed, because this is definitely, I believe, a way that the Most High God is gonna remove a ton of these people or for our land. Black Americans are the real children of Israel, the real Jews from the same tribe as Yahushua, Jesus Christ, Yahusha, take your pick. But I guarantee you, it's not just going to be like a thing where it's like, oh, it's gonna, so any new babies moving forward, right? It's gonna, I promise you, this thing is gonna be retroactive and it's gonna go back. Like they're gonna go considerably back, which meaning that if you've been here 10 years, 15, 20 years, right? If you became a citizen because your parents came, they're going back. You get about here too. Oh, praise to the Most High, because y'all got a G.O. Oh, praise to the Most High.
Listen up. In 30 days, birthright citizenship is ending in 28 states. That means there will be millions upon millions of stateless babies with no paperwork and no place to call home. And you know what that means? It is an excuse to lock up these babies in detention centers too. Newborn babies growing in camps, prison, behind bars. This is a human rights crisis in the making. No baby should be stateless.
The crazy thing about ending birthright citizenship is that this is stolen land. Like, the Europeans, quite literally, trying to get rid of birthright citizenship is crazy because this is a foreign land, technically. Like, this isn't your native land. Your native land is in Europe. Like, the thing is, oh, you're going to end birthright citizenship, so if you're, if your parents aren't citizens, then you're not going to be a citizen if you're born here. Okay, so if you go far back enough, though, the Europeans' descendants weren't born here either. They were in Europe. This is not their land either. The only people native to the land are the Native Americans. The Europeans literally came over here, stole the land from the natives, and then enslaved another group of people. And then once slavery was over, they were like, okay, well, we're going to give birthright citizenship to the children of slaves. And that's all that really matters. Anyone else, we don't need you. And then from there decided, okay, well, you don't need to be in our country. Oh, you can be in our country. Oh, you don't, like, making up these things as if they were the ones who were native to the land in the first place. Like, oh, if your parents weren't born here, then you're not a citizen. Okay, but if your great-great-great-grandparents weren't born here, then technically wouldn't that have been the cutoff? Oh, no, it only matters because it's people who are brown. It's people who are not white at the end of the day. And that's really all it comes down to. So it's just like, we can see what you're doing. But the thing is, Europeans are not native to this land. So we need to figure out something with that too for birthright citizenship. Let's go back and see where we are originating from. Let's do that then.
So I don't know if y'all saw the recent Supreme Court ruling. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to cry. But they sided with the Trump administration on nationwide injunctions, which was what was preventing birthright citizenship. Which was preventing Trump's birthright citizenship executive order from going in effect. And so essentially it's a 30-day pause before whatever guidance they put out will go in effect, which essentially means that you can't do a nationwide injunction to curtail some of his executive orders, which essentially means that it puts 250,000 children. It puts 250,000 children in limbo. And we know that they don't want to stop there. They've already been trying to position to put U.S. citizens in foreign jails, which we know a lot of that will be black and brown people. And the Supreme Court basically said that they can rewrite the Constitution unilaterally. So it seems the only way to protect yourself or your child, and like, I'm trying not to cry, but as a mom, it's hard to imagine you not knowing if your child is safe. Citizenship is like the bedrock of the Constitution. If you're born on the land of the United States of America, you're a citizen. So for the court to put out this order and then not even comment on the merits, which essentially puts all us in limbo, it takes years to get to the Supreme Court. That means you can be a citizen in California, but you might not be a citizen in Texas. And we've already seen them use the National Guard to go and usurp the governor of California. And the courts have already ruled in that situation that they have the ability to usurp the governor and use the National Guard if they feel like it. And we all read that executive order where he wants to do that. So you could essentially have ICE agents going into hospitals and ripping children from their mom. Where does that stop? He's starting with immigrants, but we know that's not their goal. The architect of all this was the Heritage Foundation with the use of Stephen Miller, with the idea that immigrants were making the country more diverse. In order to quell that diversity, you have to essentially remove that population from the country. So now it's immigrants. Next, it might be nationalized citizens. Next, it might be Black Americans. And like, the 14th Amendment was made specifically because there were a bunch of slaves that did not have a place, that weren't U.S. citizens. So they had the 14th Amendment so that all people would be citizens. And essentially, all that's in limbo, as well as all of the other nationwide injunctions that were put against the Trump administration are now in limbo. The only option, it seems now, is to have a class action lawsuit, which takes a long time to farm, and you literally would have to have your name on that lawsuit to have any kind of form of protection. And there's no telling that the Trump administration won't argue that that class action lawsuit, that class, isn't illegal. Because let's say if you're not a legal citizen here, then what's preventing them from saying that you don't also benefit from our laws and the ability to have class action lawsuit? I'm so sorry I did this crime. Like, I just can't imagine. This is the reason why it goes back to, like, I don't understand why we can't have bold leadership in the Democratic Party. Do you see how far Republicans are willing to go? We don't have anybody on our side that is willing to go this far to protect rights. To protect rights. These people are going so far to rip away rights. Why don't we have any kind of leadership that is coming out to protect rights? Why not? Y'all tell me what y'all think about all this in the comments. Again, I apologize for all the crime. I did not mean to do that. It's just that I wanted to make this video to make sure other people are aware that essentially the Supreme Court has sided with Donald Trump, and in 30 days, everything just falls in limbo when it comes to birthright citizenship. Citizens, United States citizens, Black people, white people, we're not safe in this country because it starts with the immigrant. Then where does it go? We all know this story. It starts with one group to see how you will accept it. Then they next target the next group. Then they target the next group. Then they target the next group. But like I said, y'all tell me what y'all think about all this in the comments, and I'll see you on the next one.
Based on what the Supreme Court did today, if anybody is having any conversations around birthright citizenship or citizenship as a whole, if you do not know who this man is, you should be ashamed of yourself. Because it's as a result of Dred Scott that birthright citizenship can exist. Dred Scott was enslaved by a U.S. Army surgeon by the name of Dr. John Emerson. Emerson took Mr. Scott to an area which would be considered between Illinois and Wisconsin, which at the time, slavery was illegal. When Emerson died, Dred Scott tried to buy his and his wife's freedom from Emerson's widow, to which she refused. And this man, in the 1800s, sued her. This Black man's case went to the Supreme Court in the 1800s. And one of the most infamous quotes that sets the precedence for how we are still treated in this country till this day as Black Americans was stated by Chief Justice Robert B. Taney, that Black people have no rights that a white man is bound to respect. The Dred Scott ruling of 1857 said that Black people were not citizens and that we were not even allowed to sue in federal court, that Congress had no power to ban slavery, which invalidated the Missouri Compromise, and that Mr. Dred Scott had no legal standing, although he was in a state where enslavement was illegal. Dred Scott passed 1 year later, never to have seen the abolishment of slavery in the 13th Amendment, nor the rise of birthright citizenship with the 14th Amendment. So let him be a reminder that citizenship has always been racialized and contested.